Urgent Dallas Cowboys fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, where today we've got some seriously hot topics to discuss about your beloved Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know many of you are on the edge of your seats, eager for updates, rumors, and inside scoops on everything happening in Cowboys Nation. And trust me, with this offseason shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent memory, there's plenty to talk about. But today, we're diving deep into a fascinating possibility that's been swirling around. Could Kyle Pitts, the talented but somewhat enigmatic tight end of the Atlanta Falcons, actually be the answer to some of the Cowboys' lingering questions at the position? Now, I want you to imagine this scenario for a second. The Cowboys, a team known for their strong defense, a solid offensive line, and of course, the leadership of Dak Prescott, are always looking for that spark on offense, right? We saw last season how crucial it is to have a reliable tight end, especially with the evolution of the NFL's passing game. And the question that's been bouncing around in the fandom circles, could Kyle Pitts, a former top 5 pick, come to Dallas and fix what many perceive as a positional weakness? It's a tantalizing idea, but let's unpack the reality behind it, the potential, and what it all means for the upcoming season. First off, for those of you who might not be as familiar, Kyle Pitts was drafted by Atlanta in 2021, coming out of Florida with immense hype. He was touted as a generational talent, a matchup nightmare for defenses thanks to his size, speed, and athleticism. As the 4th overall pick, expectations were sky-high, and many fans and analysts believed he'd be a game-changer right out of the gate. But, as with many highly touted prospects, the transition to the NFL has been a bit rocky for Pitts. The Falcons, during his first 2 seasons, struggled to find stability at the quarterback position. Whether it was Matt Ryan or Marcus Mariota, the inconsistency at quarterback has limited Pitts' ability to truly shine and showcase his full potential. Now, the Falcons are hoping that rookie quarterback Michael Penix Jr., coming from the University of Washington, will bring some stability and spark to their offense. If Penix can develop quickly and bring consistency, it could unlock Pitts' abilities as the dynamic playmaker he was projected to be. But that's still a work in progress, and for now, Pitts has not quite lived up to the lofty expectations. His production last season was a bit underwhelming, somewhere around 494 receiving yards, a dip from his rookie year's 761 yards. So, naturally, questions arise: is Pitts' talent enough to justify a trade? Would he flourish in a different system? Could Dallas be that system? Switching gears to the Cowboys, it's important to note that Dallas currently relies heavily on Jake Ferguson at tight end. Ferguson, who's been with the team for a couple of seasons now, showed flashes of potential but also had some inconsistency. Last season, his stats dipped a bit, with receiving yards dropping from around 761 in 2023 to just under 500 in 2024. But the Cowboys front office has remained cautiously optimistic about his future, especially with Dak Prescott healthy and ready to lead the offense again. They believe Ferguson can rebound and develop further, especially with a strong offensive line and a creative offensive coaching staff. So, where does Kyle Pitts fit into this picture? Well, the idea was floated recently by none other than Micah Parsons' brother, Terrence Parsons, who took to social media and suggested that Dallas should consider trading a second-round pick to acquire Pitts. It's an intriguing idea, isn't it? Here's a guy who's still young, with immense talent, and the potential to be a true difference-maker if placed in the right system. But let's be real, there's a lot of factors that make this scenario unlikely at best. For starters, despite Pitts' talent, he's yet to fully meet expectations, and Atlanta's management is probably hesitant to part ways with him, especially if they believe that Penix's arrival could unlock his true potential. The Falcons see Pitts as a key piece for their future, and they're hoping to build around him. Plus, the team has invested heavily in other areas, like their defense and offensive line, so a trade involving a high draft pick like a second-rounder would be a significant move. The Cowboys, on the other hand, have been quite strategic in their offseason, focusing on shoring up their wide receiver core, adding George Pickens, a young, explosive receiver with huge upside, while also trying to lock down Micah Parsons with a lucrative extension. And that brings us to a critical point. The Cowboys have already made substantial moves this offseason. They've improved their roster in key areas, and the front office is clearly prioritizing stability and continuity, especially with Parsons still in negotiations for a contract extension that would make him one of the highest-paid linebackers in NFL history. Fans are eagerly awaiting news on that front, and honestly, that's where most of the focus is right now. It's natural to speculate about big trades, but the truth is, the Cowboys seem content with their current core, especially with Ferguson, Prescott, and the new additions, believing that their system can maximize the talent they already have. Now, let's pause here for a second. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. So, while the Pitts trade remains an exciting hypothetical, the consensus among most NFL insiders and team sources is that Dallas probably isn't pursuing this kind of blockbuster move. It's more of a fan fantasy fueled by the desire for that extra spark, that game-changing tight end. The Cowboys are betting on Ferguson's development, on Dak Prescott returning to his Pro Bowl form, and on their revamped receiving core, most notably with George Pickens, being enough to elevate the offense to new heights. And let's not forget, Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner and general manager, has a history of making bold moves, but he also knows the importance of strategic planning. His focus right now appears to be on locking in Parsons, ensuring his defense remains elite, and continuing to develop their young core. The trade for Pitts, while alluring, doesn't align with their current offseason plans. They've already addressed some of their most pressing needs and seem confident that their roster, as constructed, can compete at the highest level. But what does this all mean for the upcoming season? Well, Dallas fans should be excited. The addition of George Pickens has injected some serious firepower into the receiving group, giving Dak Prescott more options and allowing him to spread the ball around more effectively. With CeeDee Lamb, Ferguson, and now Pickens, the offense has some serious weapons. Plus, Prescott's health and confidence are crucial. If he can stay healthy and play like he did during his best seasons, Dallas's offense could be among the top in the league. The defense, led by Micah Parsons, remains one of the league's most formidable units. Parsons, who's already established himself as one of the premier pass rushers and linebackers in the NFL, is the heartbeat of that defense. The negotiations for his extension are ongoing, and everyone in Cowboys Nation is anxiously awaiting a positive resolution. Once that's sorted, the team can focus fully on their championship aspirations. Now, looking ahead, there's a lot of optimism but also some cautious realism. The NFL is unpredictable, and injuries or unexpected breakthroughs by other teams could shake things up. Still, the Cowboys are in a good position, with a well-rounded roster, a capable coaching staff led by Mike McCarthy, and a fan base that's more fired up than ever. The key will be staying healthy, maintaining chemistry, and having that little bit of luck that every Super Bowl winning team needs. In the end, the Kyle Pitts trade remains one of those intriguing offseason rumors that sparks discussion and debate among fans. Does it make sense for Dallas? Maybe, in an ideal world, but the reality is that the team is currently focused on maximizing what they already have and building toward a sustainable championship run. The front office is probably quite content with Ferguson's potential, especially with Dak Prescott back in form and the offense showing signs of life. So, Cowboys fans, keep your eyes peeled for the upcoming training camp, because that's where the real stories will unfold. Will Parsons finally sign his extension? Can Ferguson step up and become that consistent threat? And how will Prescott look after his injury setback? These are the questions that will define the season. Meanwhile, the Pitts scenario, while fun to speculate about, is likely just a piece of off-season chatter that adds to the excitement but doesn't necessarily materialize into reality. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Are you excited about the potential of Ferguson, or do you wish the team would pull the trigger on a trade for Pitts? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news, analysis, and deep dives. Thanks for sticking with us, and as always, go Cowboys!